Shining bright, sunshine in the sky. Megan and Tammy here to testify, spreading love, laughter and good vibes too. The Fat Girl Chronicles, we're breaking through.
Hey guys, welcome to another podcast. This is Tammy.
And I'm Megan.
And together we're the Fat
Girl Flippers.
And this is our Fat Girl Chronicles podcast. So welcome.
So if you are watching on YouTube, that's awesome. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and also the bell so you're reminded when we post. We like to try to post every Friday. And then if you just rather listen to our audio clips or our audio version, that's totally cool too. We are on pretty much all platforms. So that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Google Podcasts, whatever. So we're on all of those. So feel free to listen to us there as well.
Awesome.
Yes.
It's been a while.
Yeah, for us it has. I mean, there was one posted.
Yeah, we pre-recorded.
But it has been a while since we have
sat down and done a podcast together.
Probably over 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, it's probably over a month now, I think.
Yeah, because
we did those other two early, remember?
Yeah, and it would have been over 3 weeks because it's 3 weeks today that I left.
Yeah, and we did podcasts before you.
Yeah.
We pre-recorded on the Sunday before you left, didn't we not?
Yeah, I think it was the Sunday before I left. So yeah, it would be a little over 3 weeks.
Yep.
Not nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy. Long time. Whoops. I need to shut the...
I know, it's like, I find even today when I was doing scheduling and stuff and like looking at April, it's like, oh my gosh. Like, it's going so fast.
I know.
Like, what, 2 weeks from 2 more weekends, and when's Easter weekend?
Easter
not this weekend, but next.
Is not, not this. It's the weekend of the 18th.
Right. Are you going down to New Brunswick?
I am for sure.
Okay, that's good. Right, because I remember
on Saturday.
Yes.
You're welcome to come with us if you like.
I'll be in the city.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's WrestleMania weekend. So me and my dad have like the one bonding thing, so we're gonna Richard watches it with his brother, so I'll go down and watch it with Dad.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah, and I haven't really been home, so I was like, I'll just spend the weekend.
And your dad doesn't go with you guys on your trip, so it's good for you to spend time with him too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's really good that you're going to New Brunswick.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I hope she doesn't listen to this because it's a surprise.
Oh.
Candy knows, but Kaya doesn't.
We'll have to
I'll have to tell Candy not to let Kaya
listen.
That's so exciting. I sent up a card through Amazon, and I told Candy to sign it for me so that she'll get a card on her birthday. And
when's her birthday?
Her birthday is Monday.
Okay.
The 14th, and so she doesn't know I'm coming, so she's going to think that's what
she gets.
Grammy sent her. Yeah.
So will you do Swiss Chalet again?
No, we're doing Wendy's this time.
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah, because she likes Wendy's, so.
Really?
Yeah, she likes chicken wraps from there, so.
She also really likes, what's that donut place?
Oh my God. Whole?
Oh,
something.
Holy Donuts or.
I can't remember what it is, but she does love that. Well.
She's going on about it last time.
I might I should go there actually before and.
I think they're like $6 a donut or something like that. Richard got one last time.
I'll purchase a donut and put a candle in it for her for when. I haven't figured out how I'm going to surprise her yet. We'll have to figure something out.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, so.
Oh, we're going. I forgot to tell you what we're doing. We're going to paint pottery.
Oh, so you're doing are you doing that at Wendy's or are you going
we're going to the place.
Really?
Throw it or what? I don't know what it's called, but.
Kind of like Nova Scotia's version of like Clay
exactly
Cafe.
The same. Yeah.
Yeah, we have like what's called Clay Cafe for anyone who's not in Nova Scotia. Although they've been closing a lot of, like there's one in Truro and there was a couple in Dartmouth, but I think they've closed some of them.
I can't remember what this is called, but it's the same idea.
Yeah. So you literally just like there's a bunch of different pottery items.
Yeah, they're what they call it in bisque, so they've already been fired once,
Yeah.
so they're hard, so you can paint them.
Yeah.
And then they take them from you, fire them again.
Oh, that is going to
and
be
then,
so much fun.
Yes, I know.
That is going to be so much fun.
It will be fun.
Ooh.
So Leo comes back on this weekend, which is exciting.
Yes.
Can't wait.
You know what's wild? Like, when we last recorded this, we had just, like, it was...
Put him on the plane, didn't we?
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
because remember I was
yes.
telling you the funny story about you turning off?
Yeah. Oh, yes, making the little...
The turn, the
Yeah.
detour. Yeah.
So I talked to him yesterday. He's actually excited about coming home, and I'm like, you're in Cancun. You should be excited about Cancun.
I know. I'm sure it's, like, really nice there right now.
He's staying inside. He said it's too hot. Although he did say he was going to the beach today, so taking the kids to the beach. So
Did you take
kinda-
pictures? Will you take pictures?
Probably. I hope so. I've told him to, but
Who knows with him?
with him, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a little scatterbrained.
Yeah. So yeah, we thought today that because we haven't really, like, we saw each other for a little bit 2 days ago, Monday, and we didn't really get a chance, like, we chatted, but we didn't really get a chance.
Not
to
really.
chat. Yeah. So, and we've been both pretty busy. Like, I was away, and Tammy's just been like go 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 go. So we figured we would just like update people.
car.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Tammy has a car because Leo's gone. And so you figured out that...
A few ways that I can do things.
Yeah, so did you want to say, like, a little bit about what you've been doing?
The most exciting and fun thing that I did was Big Brothers Big Sisters put on a dance at the North River Fire
and you didn't
Hall.
get a chance to tell me about it, so I was really curious.
So it was at the North River Fire Hall.
Yeah.
And it ended up being packed. It was supposed to be from 6 till 10. It says party till 10, then you can go home and get in your bed. Or something like that. Anyway.
That is my kind of thing.
We all said the same thing. This is awesome. And it literally was awesome. The DJ was amazing. The dance floor was packed the whole time. It was like the dances of the 90s. Like,
In what age range?
it was
for
everything.
Everything. Everybody.
Everything. There was
Really?
yeah. And at first it was only women that were there, and I thought, oh, this is going to be all women. And then some couples started arriving, and then there were like quite a few men there too.
Really?
Which was nice, and even the men were dancing. Ian was there. Ian and his wife.
Oh
or
my
girlfriend.
God! Really?
Oh yeah, they danced up a storm. So it was really a fun time. And
That is so. That's nice because he's a. What would you call him? Like a
he's a counselor. He's
a town counselor.
Town counselor.
That is so nice when you see, like, people in, you know, quote unquote positions of power.
He tries to
genuinely, like, engage with the community.
He tries to get out to most of the
Yeah.
events, and you will see him at most of the events.
That's
and
awesome.
His wife is a big sister.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that's why they're there. Yeah, and it was like I had Michelle's manual wheelchair. She has an extra one, and I've been using that and learning how to use the manual wheelchair. So dancing with the manual wheelchair is easier and much more fun because you can move yourself around.
That's true.
Like, I mean, I guess I could with a joystick, but it's not the same thing. And like when you're actually like powering yourself.
Yeah.
And it's so weird because when you're in the manual wheelchair and you're trying to like dance and stuff, the wheelchair is actually part of you.
Yeah, that makes more sense because it's really like you'd have to almost
You move
be
it
strategic with
you
the
go
joystick.
Well, there's no joystick.
No, but like if you were
Yeah.
to use this one, I
I'd
see
have
what you
to-
mean. Like you'd be
and you wouldn't be able to move your arms. And
Yeah,
moving your arms is most of what
you'd be moving the chair.
Yeah, but-
versus moving your body.
right.
Yeah.
So
That
it
makes
was
sense.
great exercise. We stayed right till the very end, till the burning end, after every last person was gone.
That is awesome.
I went live and posted a video on Facebook, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, that looks like so much fun!"
Are they gonna do that again?
I hope so because they got super great reviews.
Really?
I think they made a lot of money because it was a fundraiser, and it was fun. And there was a cash bar, like there was alcohol being sold,
Yeah.
and you could have pop and
Yeah.
whatever too, but there was alcohol being sold, and I was surprised. It being 6 to 10, I was surprised how many people were drinking.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So, yeah, so I hope they do it again. I really hope they do it again. And
Yeah, because I'd like to go if they do it again.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
yes, you would have had
It would have been so much
super
fun. It would have been so much fun.
And there was a lot of people from the Boys and Girls Club themselves, and they were engaging with us, like dancing with us, and
Was it in all ages?
yeah. Oh,
That is
19 plus.
19 plus. Okay,
Yeah,
so not
yeah.
the kids
No,
from
no,
the
because they
okay.
had a bar.
Right.
So the firemen were making the money off the bar.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was fun. Had a fun time. And then I went down to, this was even more interesting, was I went down to Halifax to Disabled Not Dead.
Okay.
It's another disability group, kind of similar to ours. So a few of us went down, and it was my first time wheeling the manual wheelchair myself. So I wheeled all around McMac Mall and up to the food court and met with the people from Disabled Not Dead and had a fabulous time.
Really?
Yes. And then we went home, and I hope we get to do that again because I really enjoyed that. The people, it was great to see some different people and a lot of
connections. Right?
Yeah,
because you did make some connections.
Yes. Yeah. One of the girls, Annika, is giving us new wheels for the wheelchair.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah, I'm
Has
excited.
it been more established? Like, has it been around for a while?
No, they're about the same as us. Maybe a little bit,
Really?
yeah, a little bit longer, but not.
Wow.
Yeah. And they do things like when it's nice, they'll go on the boardwalk in Halifax. That's where they'll meet. In the wintertime, when it's cooler, I think they meet at the mall.
The mall would be so good to just, because it's so open.
Well, and they're like us, because like when we go to the mall, we meet in the food court, and everybody can like get a snack or whatever. And
Right, and you can get what you want.
exactly. It's not like when you, I find when they pick a restaurant for us to go to, sometimes the menus are expensive and you may not get
What you
what you
want.
want or need.
Yeah.
And then that way, going to a food court, you can have
Whatever you want. There's so many options.
Yeah, and McMac Mall has a great food court.
That's really cool. And so the dancing you did with Michelle.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah.
That was,
Michelle
really
is so fun.
I wish they would do the disco, the silent
disco. Well, I'm talking, Michelle and I have a meeting tomorrow night, and we are setting up a calendar for the year, and that's one of the things I was going to broach as a thing to do.
Like, I don't know what kind of equipment that you would need.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
That, like, I don't know if anyone does it locally or whether, like, I've never.
Yeah, I've seen people advertising that they were having it, so somebody must have the equipment. And it was, I think the library, I believe, put on the last one that I saw. Yeah.
It is so much fun. I mean, it's really not any different than a dance, but I don't know.
But it's really good for people who have, like, say, autism or anything like that, too, because there's not a bunch of pounding noise.
No.
And the other thing is,
it's all in your ears.
If you want to go sit down and talk to somebody, you can do that, too, because there's not, like, blaring music.
Yeah. And I know, like, on the ship, when we had the silent disco, some people, like, literally just took the headphones and, like, danced at the tables, like sitting down, like you didn't have to be on the dance floor or whatever. Yeah, so that is super cool.
So we got some exciting things coming up too, like kayaking, sailing, surfing is in August. You know, like,
are you doing any of those?
I'm doing all of those.
Oh, are you?
I sure am.
That's exciting.
And we were looking at zip lining. The zip line where you stay in your chair, but
I didn't know that was a thing.
Up in Fredericton, Ski Martok, I believe, is where they have a short little zip line.
Really?
Where you can stay in your chair, yeah.
So which one's first? Do you say kayaking's first?
Adaptive paddling, I don't think we have a date yet for that. Sailing, they've been after us since last year. I had to turn down a couple of appointments because it was too cold for me.
So who does that? Who runs that?
It's called Sailable, something like that, and it's an adaptive sailing.
And they just come in.
No, you go. I think it's in Dartmouth. You go and you meet them, and I think I'm not sure where you sail, but I believe it's like on probably one of the lakes in Dartmouth. Yeah.
Huh, and they have a sailboat that is
They
accommodating.
have a couple of sailboats, and they teach people, like, I believe that you must be able to put your wheelchair on them or something. So
That's kind of cool.
it is cool. So yeah, so there's a lot of things coming up, and I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm glad you're gonna try the surfing thing again, because
Yes, and of course I want you to come with me because
Yeah, 'cause
you will be my.
there's like
You could even come and try it, like
well, there was an issue. Oh, the weather.
the weather. But what they've said this year is if the weather's bad, like the weather's too bad to surf, they're still going to set up and have a picnic so that everybody can still see each other.
Okay, and because that's what the issue was. I just knew there was some sort of issue where you couldn't go or you didn't go or
It's always scheduled for August, and it is traditionally August is a really rough, like, ocean time.
month. Yeah. Wonder if they'd ever come earlier. Or
No,
they probably
'cause
have
they
all
go,
their schedule.
Yeah, they go all across Canada, so I think that's just when we fit in their schedule.
in the schedule. Huh, that's interesting.
So with
That's really
the
exciting.
lemonade stand, we've got wheelchair repair this weekend,
Right.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, so
That
lots of
is
things going
awesome.
on.
Like tons of things going on.
and I'm trying to keep like involved. Oh, and we're also taking a course, like I told you.
Yes.
to grant writing skills. So
Yep.
that's 10 weeks.
And that's all online.
It's all online. It's
Okay.
10 weeks every Wednesday from 9 till 1.
Holy
And you
shit.
literally have to be, like she told me today, you have to be sitting at your desk so that they can see you in
You
order to get
can't,
your
like-
certificate at the end.
And you and Michelle are doing that?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
That's intense. I didn't realize how intensive that was.
Very intensive. Well, it's through CBDC, the Canadian Business Development Corporation. That's who
Oh,
puts
so
it
this is
on.
like a legit.
Yeah, and the government pays for it, so it is.
Well, when you said about them interviewing you, I
Yeah,
was like,
because
wow.
I think they want to make sure that you actually have the skills to complete the course.
Well,
right?
yeah, I was just thinking it was something that you kind of.
Yeah, I
can
was
sign up
too, but when
for.
I talked to her and then she said you have to make sure your camera is working and you will be sitting classroom style in
Yeah.
front of the camera.
Yeah.
And it's there's 10 so far and we can have maximum of 12, so. Wow. Yeah.
So you gotta figure out your camera.
Yeah. If anyone has a spare laptop they'd like to send down, feel free.
I know.
Put it in the comments.
The laptop is.
This laptop has served me well, but it's on its last legs.
Yeah, she's struggling a bit.
Just doesn't have enough memory to power anything anymore.
Oh, God.
So.
Oh, God.
It would like to forget me, but I keep opening it up and trying to get it to work.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Like a lot going on. Mm-hmm. And it was awesome for me because before I left, before you kind of figured out about the whole with Michelle, like that you could work that, and potentially go hang out with her and stuff. Like I had said, like you could, you have the car, like you could use it, and you were just kind of like, yeah, I might go to Tim Hortons or something, like.
I did go to Tim Hortons.
And you did, yeah. But like, it was nice to come back and you were like, oh no, I actually used it all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
I used it a lot.
so that's great.
And Sunday night I went to Michelle's for supper. Her sister is a chef, and she owns a restaurant in
Nice.
Sussex. So,
Really?
Yeah, so she cooked for us, and then Michelle and I did our nails, and
Right,
Yeah.
right,
yeah.
right. That is so good.
All right, now I want to hear the news from the cruise.
Yeah, so, what did I say, 3 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago today, I left, so I did, well, I think I mentioned it, but like, for anyone who's just listening now, I went to LA and Mexico. I did the Mexican Riviera cruise through San Diego. That's where we came out of. So,
Not Mexican Riviera.
that's what they call it, but
The Mexican Riviera is the East Coast.
I don't know. Yeah, that's what the cruise is called.
That's so strange.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because the
I don't know
Riviera
whether-
is like Tulum and where Cozumel and that's strange.
I don't know whether it's just because we're going through Mexico. Maybe they probably don't even.
They do the other side as well.
Yes, because I went through Cozumel.
Might be why.
Yeah. So regardless, it was called the Mexican Riviera Cruise, and it was through Disney Line. So I will speak a little bit to that because I think it was Angie. There was some Angie, maybe one of our listeners is thinking about doing a Disney cruise. So I'll talk a little bit about that just in case people are curious about it. So anyway, Wednesday we left super early in the morning. Our flight was 7:00 in the morning or something. So not as early as Leo's that time, an hour later.
Oh my God.
And so we flew to Toronto, and that was pretty easy breezy. We cleared customs. Customs was really easy, standard. I hear that it's getting worse now, so I'm glad that we left when we did. And then we arrived in LA because of the time change. We got there at 4:00. So that was good. So it would have been 8:00 our time. And so we get there, and of course, we're tired, we're exhausted, right? And we're we have tons of luggage, and we have to get to in the LA airport, the car rental places is actually separate from the airport itself.
Yeah, I've been to LAX.
Yeah. So, you have to take a shuttle
everywhere.
Yeah. So we were waiting for the shuttle, and everyone was standing with their luggage, and I was oh, I gotta get a picture. So I looked around. So we're just kind of standing on this ledge. So I was I looked both ways, and I backed up onto the little. It wasn't a street, but it was at the Halifax airport. the road where people can drop off.
It's
drive by or whatever.
So it's the pickup lane.
Pickup lane. Yeah. So just that. So and then. The next thing I know, everyone's screaming at me, and I hear honk, honk, and I jump back up, and I actually managed to get a picture of all of them. Richard's the only one I didn't get in the picture, but they're all screaming.
I saw that. Yeah, I wondered what was going on.
Yeah, so I was very close to being hit by a bus. But the thing was, I literally...
That would have made for a good story.
Oh, fuck. He was going so fast. I literally looked both ways and stepped off. So it wasn't I didn't even see him coming. And he just... There was not even... It was I'm going to honk, and if this girl doesn't move, then I'm hitting her. There was
Welcome to LA, sweetheart.
Yeah. Which is... But also funny, one thing I noticed about LA is because there's so much traffic, and it might be because there's so much traffic, is everyone lets everyone in. That is one thing that people do so good there. Which is shocking to me, because I was thinking, people would be rude or whatever, but yet no, everyone lets everyone in because, well, you're almost at a standstill.
Nobody would get anywhere if they didn't.
Exactly. So anyway, that was within, 15 minutes of us being in LA. I almost got hit by a bus, so that was great. That was awesome.
Oh my God.
And so we we had a cute little Airbnb. About an hour. Well, at this point,
I saw that. It was a cute little house.
Yeah,
it's just like a bungalow, right?
Yeah, and it was about an hour and a half. With the traffic, it was about an hour and a half away from the airport. So we went there, and by the time we got home there, it was super late. Our luggage starting off barely fit in the van. We had to move things around.
Jenga.
Yeah, and it was bad. Glenn had to take my father-in-law had to take an Advil at one point because he kept getting smacked by the luggage.
Poor Glenn.
So he got a headache.
Aw,
yeah.
Poor Glenn.
So we had Pizza Hut at midnight by the time we settled down into this Airbnb. And then the next day, what did we do? Oh, we went to Santa Monica. The pier.
Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah, and...
You went to the money pit.
Oh, my God. So we went there, and it was really cool because I did get a picture at the sign, the end of, or part of Route 66, which I thought was cool. And Trudy was really emotional because they got to put their feet in the Pacific. So that was really cool. But then Mom was trying to get a pop at a vending machine. And it wouldn't work. And she continued to try to get it out of the fucking vending machine. And then this bird kept trotting along, like trot, 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 coming near me.
Oh, and you're terrified.
I'm terrified of birds. So, like, Trudy and Glenn are, like, watching me. Richard's in front of me. And Richard's, like, actively, like, walking towards this bird. And the bird is like, I don't care. I'm gonna, like, kill you all. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm gonna literally kill you all. Like, he's, like, trotting, coming to get me. So, then Trudy says, do you want to go? And I'm, like, I turn to her and instantly I'm, like, bawling. I'm like, you guys can stay. I just need to go back to the car.
No.
Bawling.
Overtired child.
Oh, bawling. I was bawling.
An overtired child.
Oh my God. I just couldn't. The bird literally was like, didn't even care. Like normally when you walk towards a bird, it flies.
I wonder what happened to you.
I don't know. I'm terrified of birds.
Something somewhere along the line must have scared you when you were little.
It had to have.
Like before you remember.
Yeah, it had to have because birds specifically terrify me. So
good thing you weren't here earlier, because Archie and I were sitting out there because Cheyenne filled up the feeder, so we were waiting for the birds.
No, I don't mind. Like if I'm inside, I'd love I could watch them for hours.
Well, one came right at us, so one little one.
Oh, but you had a window.
Yeah. But it scared Archie. He went like.
Oh, God, love him.
Anyway, carry on.
Yeah. So then Richard went to he got to experience In-N-Out. He's been wanting to do that forever.
Oh yes, the burger place.
The burger place. What else did we do that day? We went to Olive Garden. We stocked out our favorite YouTubers, GMM, Good Mythical Morning. I won't disclose the address, but we found the address, and so we just wanted to drive by to see. It's a very plain building. You'd never ever know that that's where their studio is, but we just wanted to be near there. And then we went to the Walmart and we're like, I wonder if we're going to see Rhett and Link. The whole time we were just like hoping that we would see them, but we didn't. And then we knew we had to get up the next day for San Diego. So we just went home, but it was like 8 or 9 by the time we got home. Like it's because to get anywhere in LA,
it takes a long time.
So long.
Honest to God.
Like 1 to 2 hours minimum.
You're better off if you can walk, like, to places. I remember when I was in LA and we were going a couple places, we decided to just walk because
it is so long. And the thing was, we were staying out, like, in a community just like outside.
Suburbs, yeah.
Yeah, so we went, and then San Diego, I really wanted to drive, at least say I could went down the Pacific Coast Highway. But because of the fires, there were certain areas cut off, so we ended up driving like a little piece of it. It wasn't like what you would normally see, like it was more of like the little communities versus like when you look out and it's all ocean. But that was the only section that was available to us. Also, the Pacific Coast is more not from LA to San Diego, but from like LA the opposite way.
Going towards like Nevada, Las Vegas.
I think
Palmdale.
so. Yeah, like I think it's more the opposite way. Like they say it kind of ends pretty close to LA versus like going to San Diego. So we went to San Diego. Cruise was really good. So the Disney cruise, we did a Disney cruise. I love Disney cruises. For anyone who's interested in a Disney cruise, some of the key points I think are they're heavy in price point. They're one of the more expensive cruises, but you get really good service. So in normal cruises, I think what they do is like do more like buffet. They do have a dining room you can do. Some of them you have to pay extra for, like in regular cruises, other cruises. Disney, what's special with Disney is they give you 3 restaurants and you rotate between those 3 restaurants every night. And the server, there's 2 servers, a head server or like a main server and like an assistant server, and they follow you to each restaurant.
Oh.
And so each restaurant is themed different. So one was Triton after Ariel's father. One was The Princess and the Frog, so it had like New Orleans vibe, and one was like animation. So they wear their outfits for every different, but they follow you, so you get to know them really well. So that's unique to Disney. You're not going to really get that with other cruise lines. And the other thing about Disney is that they're one of the only cruise lines that does fireworks. So they have a pirate night on anything 5 nights and above. They'll have a pirate night, and that includes like dressing up as a pirate, obviously, a pirate show, and then fireworks. And they're one of the only cruises, because I think you have to have like special clearance or something.
Yeah, licenses, to do that.
Because you're like putting fireworks out in the middle of the ocean, right? So that's something to consider. We just did inside rooms. They're spacious enough.
They looked spacious.
Yeah, and honestly, you pay so much more for, like...
It actually looked like I could have got in there with my wheelchair.
Yeah, it was decently sized.
It looked better to me than the DP Pines.
It was. It was
way more
bigger.
room.
Yeah,
I could see that from your pictures.
Yeah,
that there was more room there than the...
Exactly. So... And we didn't even have, like, an accessible room, really.
No, I figured you had an inside room, and it was just,
just whatever. And so, and the thing with the Disney cruise is they've got things for kids, but if you're also if you're an adult, they have things just for adults. Like, at night, every night, we'd go to the, like, adult club, which is called Azure, and they would have, on the ship, it was called Azure, and they'd have, like, all these funny different game shows, or like you get participants up there. Like one night they had like what's that couples game where they have to match each other? So they picked like a couple that just got married, a couple that got married or was together for a while, and then a couple that got married like a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
And then they had to match their answers. So that was fun.
Was it fun? Did you get to play?
I didn't play. Richard would never. He'd be like, oh my God, don't.
Really?
Oh my God, he'd be so shy. He'd kill me.
Oh.
He would do it if they asked us, but he wouldn't want me to be like...
Volunteer,
yeah.
Aw. Because I think that would be kind of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. And it was so fun. Like, it was just so funny. They have, like, drinking and
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
And this is, like, sincere.
Yeah.
If someone like me, I just hit myself in the tooth. Someone like me, who's not a Disney fan, a fanatic, doesn't really know anything about any of the characters or any of that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, not that.
Yeah.
How would you say that a person like me would fare out on that? Would I be better off? I'd be better off going somewhere else.
To be honest with you, unless you're looking for the Disney
experience, that then
you really don't, like, they've got characters that you can get in line and do pictures with. We didn't do that. Sometimes you'll
Trudy did. Trudy got or it must have been just a random thing, right?
So Pluto and Goofy were playing basketball with the kids.
No, I think this was a princess. I think this was...
Oh, yes, she just happened to have no line, no bell. She had just come out and there was no line. She was like, hi.
Oh, okay.
Cheer with her. But usually there's, like, lines. The after night shows, like, there wasn't a whole lot of Disney. Like, the silent disco, it wasn't Disney music. Trivia, there was, like, Disney trivia, but then there was also, like, they did a lot of decade music trivia, like 90s, 60s trivia there. Bingo.
I saw you guys playing bingo.
Yeah, so I think unless you're, like, looking for it, I think that it would be, and the service is so good that to me, it would be worth, even if you weren't a Disney fan. Because even, like, I think about the restaurant, The Princess and the Frog, I'm the only one who's watched that movie. But when you go in there, it's not really about The Princess and the Frog. It's about New Orleans. And they had, like, blues music. Like, well, I think I posted a couple of videos where it was, like, blues music musicians. Like, you really don't even need to know. All you know is that you're getting, like, a New Orleans-style restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in that restaurant, did they have New Orleans-themed food?
Probably. But I had every night steak and potatoes, so I didn't pay much attention to it.
Oh, okay. Was it good?
Yes, it was really good. And see, the waiters get to know you. So, like, after day one, he's like, you want the same thing? And I'm like, yes, please.
So every restaurant you had steak and potatoes?
Every night. Yeah, every single restaurant.
And were they all cooked the same?
Nope, differently.
Really?
Yeah. And there was one night, there was a steak featured on the main menu. Mm-hmm. So I had, I can't remember what kind of steak I had.
New York strip?
It might have been like a New York strip, like for the main menu. And then like they have like a regular steak, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. So like I had the other steak one night, but he was just like, you want the same thing? Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's really like one night, like Trudy had beef Wellington one night. I don't know what restaurant it was at. So like fancier stuff. But
yeah. For someone who's a foodie or likes like a lot of different things, I wonder how.
Well,
because that's pretty like beef Wellington is a British dish, I believe.
Yeah. And to your point, like Glenn and Trudy and Richard all said, like, and that's the thing, like they don't give you humongous portions because you can literally say to them,
bring me another one,
or I want 3 different entrees or whatever it is. Like you can, because it's all within the cost. Yeah, it's all within the cost of the cruise, so you can literally have.
So if you want to have 2 steaks, you just tell them.
Yeah.
2 steaks.
Yeah. And like Richard multiple nights had like 2 or 3 desserts because he couldn't pick. Mm-hmm. So he just like, yeah.
That's
like,
cool.
Yeah. And then there's stuff that you can have that's just not even on the menu. Because one of the head guy said to me that he once had a table where the little boy only wanted pepperoni and cheese pizza every night. So that's what he had. That wasn't on a menu. That's not on a menu at all. Mm-hmm. But that's what he wanted. So that's what he got every night. Yeah.
Interesting.
They're very service focused. Mm-hmm. Like, and I think that's what makes it, because on other cruise lines, you don't get that connection. Like, I would want, if I ever went back to, what were we on? I can't even remember what, Wonder. We were on the Wonder. If I ever went back to the Wonder ship, like, I would request the people. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So if you have any questions about the actual like Disney cruise, what it's like, the experience, the ports, if it's worth it, whatever, like feel free to ask. I've not cruised anything else, so I can't really compare it. I've read some things. I'll also just throw out there that the Disney cruise, which I'm sure other cruises have too, they have different clubs. So I think as early as like a year or something, they've got different age ranges that you can drop your child off. Mm-hmm. So they have different clubs. So like they've got like a teen club.
I did know that.
Yeah. So if you're like a parent.
Services, yeah.
Yeah, and they do a lot. Like they go from like there's activities for a teen to do at like 11 o'clock at night. And they really they form friendships. Mm-hmm. And they even have the preteens they have them practice a flash mob.
Like a skit.
Yeah, they do a flash mob dance, and then on Pirates Night they do the dance for everybody.
That's cool.
Yeah,
so and it's a good experience for like kids.
Kids as well.
Who yeah.
And truthfully, we didn't see a lot of kids because we spent a lot of our time in like Azure at adult only events or the adult only section. So there's an adult only section that like.
So I was going to ask you that. Pools and stuff, is there an adult-only section? Oh, I wondered that.
With a hot tub, a pool, loungers, a bar, all of it.
Next question. How fat-friendly were they?
Honestly, pretty good.
Like chairs and everything? And
I'm just trying to think. Yeah.
Yeah?
There's nothing that I can think of that was like...
There's nothing that you walked into a room and you thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to sit on that spindly little chair?
No. The only thing was Azure, some of like their main chairs were quite low, but we always sat in a big booth in the back. So...
Lots of room in the booth.
Tons of room.
Okay.
Yeah. And the beds are like super solid, like super comfy.
Yeah, they looked...
Yeah. The couch is super solid and comfy. I mean, the bath, like, you're also in a cruise cabin, so it's not, like, super, I mean, it's spacious, but it's...
It's bigger than an airline, but
you're
it's
not, like,
huge.
Yeah, you're not, like, opening the bathroom door and, like, stretching, like, you are kind of shimmying that way. Yeah.
How were the Mexican ports?
So, okay, so we went to, and you're probably going to pronounce them, the
Puerto Vallarta.
Yep. And all we did there was...
Get off, look at Walmart, and get back on.
And get back on. I probably would have been okay with exploring it a little bit. I think that people might have been a little nervous getting off. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say anyone specifically, but the vibe in our group was that there was some nervous people. I've talked extensively with you and Leo, so I was not...
that's a tourist town.
And it's a tour, and I was honestly, like, I always think about, like, Leo, keep to yourself, don't make a fool out of yourself, don't go looking for trouble, and you'll be fine. Like, I think, when you're not used to people coming at you and, like, try this, can you want to buy this, do you want to, like, the vendors and stuff,
peddling things.
That could be super overwhelming, so I think there was that, and then once we left the mall where there was a lot of that, like, they just have a lot of, like, police, but in army uniform, like, patrolling, military
police.
Patrolling. So I think that might have caused a little bit of fear for some.
That's the norm. That's not anything out of the ordinary, and it's been that way forever.
Yeah, and so for me, like, I guess I wasn't as...
Yeah, because you've heard from us what...
Yeah, to me, I just think, like, you know, whatever. So... anyway, we went to Walmart. The Walmart was small. I think they were disappointed because there wasn't any plus size, but I knew there wasn't going to be because you had already told me. But it was interesting just to see some different things and even try. So Richard got tons of food, like chips and stuff, because you can't bring back fresh food. The regular Doritos are spicy.
The regular Doritos are
like,
spicy.
You know, the red Mexico? Bag? Yeah, you know, like the red nacho bag?
Yeah.
They're like jalapeno.
Yeah, but you have to... What were they actually?
Yeah.
Just the regular?
It's red bag. It said nacho on it.
Okay.
And it was jalapeno.
And you're sure that there was no little tiny jalapeno anywhere on the... Okay.
No. Yeah. Isn't that cool? I thought that was weird.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, because I got Doritos, thinking that I could eat them or whatever. What else?
It's funny if you ever go to Mexico again, they have the Lay's. They have it's in a red bag and it's like got a tomato on it. It's called tomato, but it tastes exactly like our ketchup chips.
And they had like different like Rice Krispies, Fruit Loop Rice Krispies, Lucky Charms Rice Krispies, that sort of thing. So that was interesting.
I noticed they had chocolate frosted flakes and frosted flakes, but if you had to turn them around, they probably had the English label on the other side. Probably.
Well, I said to Richard, I was like, I'm posting on Facebook. Send me all the pictures that you want to like post it, and they're like all food and cars.
I was like, this is frosted flakes. This is chocolate frosted flakes. I'm like,
they're all Richards.
I'm like. It's in Spanish, but it's still frosted flakes.
Oh, Richard was like taking
funny.
pictures of everything. He really thought that was interesting. Oh, he is a foodie, so that was cool. And then when we walked,
there are a lot of different foods in Mexico.
Yeah, he got a ton of chips and stuff. That's what he could, because he knew he could bring those back.
Yeah.
And then when we were walking back, so it's huge intersection, like tons and tons and tons and tons of lanes. And so, like, you're walking, you get the little walking symbol.
And you're crossing 4 lanes of traffic.
Well, on one side, there's, like, 8 in total.
Yeah.
Like, it's huge. And so I'm, like, booking on along. I'm like, come on, everybody, we're going to get hit by a car.
Yeah, because you don't get enough time.
Yeah, well, and I'm, like, worried about it, right? And then all of a sudden we hear, whoop, whoop, and, like, whistling and, like, yeah, whatever. I got catcalled for the first time ever in Mexico.
Woohoo! Go girl!
I was like,
told ya, Central America, they love us.
That's what Richard said. He goes, oh, they like you. Mm-hmm. So,
if you ever landed in Belize, you'd never get past immigration.
So, oh my God, that was so funny.
They love you.
Laughed. And they all laughed at me because I, like, literally any other time of the trip, I would just be like, They'd be like, "Where's Meg?" And she's like 5,000 miles back. I just took my time. I just sauntered, right? Mm-hmm. But not that time. Okay, so for Cabo St. Lucas was not good.
I don't know a lot about that place. I've heard about it, but I've not ever...
It was not good. So I will say, first of all, ever since I took my IUD out, I'll preface this with this, my anxiety has been tenfold. Like, probably worse than it's ever been. And so to do Cabo, you had to tender.
So for those who don't know, tender means getting on another boat.
Yeah, like
a
little
small
mini boat
because the cruise ship can't come close enough
because
the waters aren't deep enough at that port.
Yeah, so of course in the morning, so I'm already kind of nervous. And then in the morning, the waves are too rocky, so they're like there's a huge delay. Mm-hmm. And so I'm getting more nervous. Mom's looking out at the boat. I'm looking out at the boat. The boat looks like it's rocking. Like all the boats look like they're pretty rocky. And then you have to like go from one boat to the other, right? So there's a step there. Mm-hmm. And so as the day proceeded, my anxiety just continued and continued and continued. And at first I was worried about stepping over, and then it was like sitting in the boat. Will I fall off the boat? Will the boat tip? Like just constant. And as we were finally headed down to the tender, at this point it's like 1:00 in the afternoon, and we've been waiting all morning. We get down the stairs and they say, "Oh no, this exit area still isn't ready. We're gonna have to go back up the stairs and go to this other area." On my way, Richard, like, one thing about everybody that I went on the cruise with is they didn't have time nor patience to like wait for me. So like I was constantly like really behind everybody. So they were like booking it. I'm getting more and more anxious. Richard's just holding my hand and he's like, "Are you sure you're okay? Like, we're gonna do this. It's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay." And it's the more he kept trying to reassure me, the more panicked I was getting. And it was to the point where in my head I was like, "You're gonna die. We're gonna die. We're gonna die. I'm gonna die." Like, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. You're gonna, like, all. So I ended up like hyperventilating. Like I went, like you could visibly hear me as if I was having an asthma attack. So I had to step out of line.
Panic attack.
Yeah, I had a total panic attack. But of course, like, everybody's gone because they don't wait. Like, they just keep walking. So Richard was like stuck between like having to wait with me bawling and not being able to breathe and going to tell our family that we wouldn't be coming. So luckily there was a cruise member that saw me and she sat with me until Richard. Mm-hmm. And she was so great. She was like telling me about, she went off on the other port and like what she saw. Mm-hmm. And she was fantastic. And she was British. Mm-hmm. She was fantastic. So anyway, Richard came back and we talked about it. And he's like, "Megan, I have been like in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean in a boat. Like, it's not." I was thinking in my head, I started to think about like the rafting boats, like where you're on the edge and like holding on. Logically, I knew that's not what the boat was, but my anxiety was telling me that's what it was. So Richard talked to me about it and talked about the boat and what it would be like. And I took a clonazepam, just one. And I was like, okay, let's try this again. So I did get on the boat. So that was, Richard was like, "You are a superstar." He held on to me. He was so good to me. But yeah, Cabo, I probably didn't need to bother. It was so bad. A lot of, what did you call it? Like, people coming at you.
Vendors, like
a lot, like you couldn't move 2 inches.
Hawkers.
Yeah, like it was very hot. It was very crowded. It was like you couldn't.
Unfortunately, from what I've seen, living somewhere where there was a cruise port, that is the norm.
Yeah.
At every cruise port, there's hawkers trying to.
Yeah, and we've experienced it, just not to that level.
I think Belize combated that by making the tourist village, so they closed it off so that regular people can't get in there.
Yeah.
So only people that are the shops are there.
Are authorized or whatever.
Yeah, but they don't have that like when you stop at that port because you can't get outside of that tourist village.
Oh, it was like, and then we went to this place called Senior Frog, and
oh yeah, they have Senior Frog all over Mexico.
Oh my god, but this place was so loud. At this point, everyone was exhausted. It was so loud.
Oh yeah, they play music.
And and it wasn't, the food was good. They had the matzo sticks. The food was really good. But at one point they tried to get us to do shots. And this friggin' girl who's trying to do shots, she was like, do shots? Do you want to do shots? And we're like, no. Then she starts rubbing up on Richard. And Richard's like, didn't even pay her mind. Like, he was like, I'm not going to give her the attention. She's wanting to try to egg me on to get me to do shots, right? So, anyway, but the food was really good. Mm-hmm. And then we just went back to the boat because I think everyone was just done at that point. Mm-hmm. And then the other one, which was, Ensenada, I think.
Mm-hmm. Ensenada.
That was my favorite one. We did an excursion. And it was literally just like a little, like, tour. And you got to see, like, it wasn't touristy. Like, you could see poverty. You could see... I don't know, like...
You visited and had a tour of the Sinaloa cartel area.
Yeah, it was, you could just
see... They didn't tell you that, but that's the area.
Well, and even, like, we got off, she was like, what did she say? She said, follow this Mexican. Don't be following any other Mexicans. Like, she was so funny. Mm-hmm. And even when we got off, she said, now there's a wine thing here that we're exploring, and there's a grocery store here. She said, if you don't want to do the wine, you can do the grocery store. She said, but do not cross the street. So we knew not to cross the street. But they showed us, it was this old casino.
Okay.
And it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. And then
did they show you any of the churches or anything in the area? Because there's that part of Mexico has a lot of old Spanish architectural churches and things.
Well, this casino was like
probably built in there.
Yeah, it was, and she showed us like
big columns and
and she showed us like, you know, the single women had to stay here, and she told us all about the history, and there was painting. Oh, it was beautiful.
Did they sell Mexican pottery there?
Probably not in the casino itself, but I wouldn't be surprised. Outside of that casino, they had a bunch of vendors.
Because that area is famous for the pottery.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, they likely did. I did get you a turtle.
Oh, yes, I forgot.
Yeah, so I have like a bunch of stuff that I need to fish out for you. But yeah, I did get you a turtle. And so that was my favorite one. I felt there wasn't a million people trying to attack you. Like with...
Which is funny because that's the one port that I was worried about,
Yeah, it was my favorite.
It is cartel country. Like, I mean, it's hardcore Sinaloa, you know.
Yeah.
And that's funny.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you went with the thought in your mind that, you know, like, I'm not scared of this kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think for me, like, just having talked to you and Leo and just... You know, honestly, it's just keep your head, don't go looking for trouble. Like if, for example, she said, don't cross the street. So I'm probably not going to cross the street. you know,
like anytime that, truthfully and honestly, anytime I've seen any tourists getting into trouble or getting, you're not allowed to say the word, but unalived. Yeah. It's usually they've been on a resort, they've been drinking, they decide after the resort bar closes that they're going to go out to wherever and start drinking at the local clubs.
Yeah.
And then single women at 4:00 in the morning are wandering around on the streets, not knowing how to get back to where they belong.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, a lot of times it's like you said, using your head, like don't do stupid things.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's what I just kept saying, right? Like you just, you know, so I think that was my favorite one. She was so funny. Like when she said,
awesome.
Yeah, she's like, look for the Mexican with the big flag. Cause she had like this little big pole cause she was short. She's like, don't be following any other Mexicans. And there was one where
I'm glad that you got to see like a little bit of the actual place where people live. Like the real part of Mexico.
Yeah. And it's funny. She also said, because there's like California, I guess, goes into Mexico. Like
It borders, yeah.
But there's like, what's it called?
Tijuana? Brownsville?
No, it's like California. It's one of my pictures, but like at first it was like all California or all considered California or something, like even into Mexico.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But they had to change it because we had to change the name because we had some trouble with the neighbors. Oh my god, I love this girl. She was so funny, and it was super funny because all of us, like, she first got on the boat and she was like trying to promote drinking, and none of us were drinkers. And this one lady, this made Richard's day. We're all sitting and she's like, okay, you know, there's this wine place, but there's also this little store. And this lady who probably had like COPD or something, like kind of crackly voice, she's like, they sell Dr. Pepper in Mexico? And she's like, yeah. She goes, well, I've been 7 days without my Dr. Pepper, and I'm about to kill somebody. So I need to get some Dr. Pepper.
Mexico is...
And they did have Dr. Pepper.
Mexico,
Yeah.
in the cities and stuff, in the towns, they're like us. Like, they're...
Yeah.
I don't know why they're considered a third world country, because they have everything we have.
Yeah. Well, and then so the other part, she dropped us off in this, like, it was like the shopping center type of thing. So you just like a whole street of just different
Like a strip.
stores.
Yeah.
Like a strip of stores or whatever. I didn't go into any of the stores, but like Trudy got like a leather bag for like $30.
Yeah.
And Richard got this, those masks because people wear them for wrestling.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what it's called. But he was super excited about that because he bartered with the guy, and they got like taco. They got tacos and stuff, but they also had like McDonald's and a 7-Eleven. So, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can have street food, or you can have, if you like American franchise foods like McDonald's, Burger King, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I really, that was my favorite, and I think that going forward, I probably would do like more so excursions, because the only times I've been on excursions, they like take you outside. Because when I did the Mexico one, where did I go last year?
You were on Cozumel, the island,
yes.
so you were pretty safe to go on a, like anywhere you wanted.
Well, they took us because we did ATV wheeling.
Yes.
So like we went outside like the main port area.
Yeah. And
we got to drive through like a little compound,
exactly.
right?
Yes.
Compound, yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's so cool, because I know where that, I went through there too.
Yeah. So and it was, like you said, it was colder than I anticipated.
Yeah, because you're higher elevation and further north, right?
Yeah. And then just a quick rundown. We left the cruise, and we did a couple days in LA. I did Disneyland with my mom and my sister, which is nothing like Disney World. I will say Disney World surpasses Disneyland, except for the Pirates of the Caribbean. That one ride is much better in Disneyland. We went to the Walk of Fame. We did like a celebrity bus tour. We did the Griffin Observatory. I got to see like the Chinese theater and what's the other one? The whatever theater. It starts with a D. Doxley Theater. No.
I know which one you mean.
It's right beside the Chinese theater. Anyway, we got to like drive down Sunset Strip 1,000,001 times.
Did you see the 2-story KFC that faces?
No.
You didn't see my 2-story KFC?
To be honest with you,
that faces the Hollywood sign.
I really underestimated. There was like, we needed so much more time. Like, we went from morning to night. Like, we barely saw any of LA. Like authentically, like really dug into it.
I would love to go back to LA again. That was one of the cities that I always said I thought I would hate it, and I loved it, and I would love to go back. Yeah.
Richard really got emotional with it because he plays that Grand Theft Auto game, and one of their I don't know what you call it, series, or one of their versions, I guess, was based in LA, and it was very, very similar. So he was like really like, this is so cool. Like, I've been playing this for years, and now I'm like here.
It's like when I got to go to Inked and met Kat Von D.
Right.
And, you know, that was really exciting because I was very much into tattoos then.
Right, and it was cool because I was watching the Kardashians the other day.
And then I saw you saw the shot.
And it was cool because she, like, had... But again, on the show, it looks very different than... Because they had, like, a collab between Mel's Diner and Skims, which is actually next door to each other. It looks very different in person than they presented on the TV. A lot more run down, a lot more...
I wonder if they have a set.
Maybe.
Like, that is quite possible, right? That they would have a set, because how would they film on a regular basis without getting customers and things?
Well, and because it really...
So I would think maybe that's why.
Yeah, because, like, really and truly, like... at least the LA that I saw, what did I text Trista, my friend? I said, for being the land of the rich and famous.
Well, everyone thinks glitz, glam.
But it is not.
It's not.
No. I'm glad that I had so many people that had been to LA kind of warn me, because I was able to either prepare myself, but also prepare others. But, like, I know for me, like, for Richard specifically, like, the amount of poverty and homelessness was really... Even, like, we'd be walking up...
Well, Richard watches Soft White Underbelly, which they feature people from Figueroa Street, which is that street where all the homeless people are tenting.
Right.
So Richard should have been aware of...
Well, I don't think we ever got there. Like, we didn't see rows of tents or anything.
Okay, because there's a one street called... Well, it's beside... I don't know if it's Figueroa that they camp on. It's Figueroa that the prostitutes are on.
Okay.
They work on.
No, like, we were literally on, like, Sunset Strip, like, the Hollywood Walk of Fame, like, all of that.
Unfortunately, the whole world is experiencing that right now.
It was quite sad. Even, like, we were walking up to do... Like, I watched Vanderpump Rules, for anyone who... I don't know who watches that, but I love that show. And so I got to see some of the restaurants featured on there. And a lot of the restaurants, I believe, are off of, like, Sunset Strip, like, in that kind of area. And, like, even walking there was somebody, he was, like, kind of sleeping on the sidewalk. And you look down, and he's got a bracelet, and it just says addict on it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just sad.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's just sad to see. Mm-hmm. Especially when you... And to see, like, you can be, like, going down the street and see all the big fancy stores and clean and pristine, and then, like, walk 2 seconds later and just see, like, the total opposite.
But think about even our own little Halifax.
Very much like, yeah.
And think about that. Like, I mean, when you go there, now we see, you know, so many more panhandlers at street corners. Mm-hmm. We see people in tents. We see all kinds of things that we never ever saw before here, right?
Yeah.
Well, even in our town, in Truro.
Exactly, yeah.
Not even in the city, but...
Yeah. No, it really, I think, like, for Richard specifically, and I think maybe Emma too, like, I haven't really talked to Mom or Trudy or Glenn about it, but I know that they really... Like, it struck something with...
Surprised
them.
them.
It just sat with them, you know, like, which is understandable. Mm-hmm. So if you are going to LA, just be prepared that you, like, both times we were getting on the bus, the hop on, hop off, on the Walk of Fame, somebody was clearly having a mental health crisis. They were screaming and hollering and yelling and getting very aggressive on the street and in the sidewalks. And... like, that was, everyone just kind of kept walking, right? Like, that was just totally normal.
It reminds me of the day here in Truro. There was a man walking down the street and he was fully dressed in black, had a mask over his face, and was swinging a machete.
So similar, like, without the machete, obviously.
Well, and he was doing the same thing, like, screaming and, you know.
Similar thing, right? So it
just... It's awful.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for our planet.
Yeah. So I would just be, like, again, if you're doing LA, like, just be prepared for that. Because you do see, like, when you look on TV and they just get a new star, you know, everything's clean and pristine. But
glitz and glamour.
But it's not necessarily. I will say, like, the Hollywood Hills are beautiful. Lots of beautiful homes. Big. The mansions weren't as big as they appear on TV. But they're beautiful. They're really pretty, right? Like, lots of beautiful. The Griffin's Observatory, I would highly recommend.
That's
both
a
day and
beautiful
night.
place. Yeah.
We didn't get to go during the day, but for sure, the night skyline,
Yeah.
gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
There's
such a glow over that whole city. At night, it's just beautiful.
Yeah. I think I personally prefer New York. But yeah, I would go back. I'd want to go back and give it like actual time and not be rushed. Like, it just felt like we just didn't have time.
I would love to go down and spend 2 weeks there or something.
You really do need because we only had I think 4 full days or something.
Yeah.
And that included going to Disneyland and then doing the walk stuff, having a rest.
Yeah. That's not enough time.
There's just not enough time.
No.
So, and we did the Warner Brothers studio tour. That was really good. And we ended up on the same, they just have small groups and they take you on this little trolley thing with a host. And the people that we were with were Nova Scotians.
That is so cool.
Yeah, so we were all Nova Scotians doing this tour.
How awesome.
I know, and the tour guide was like, thank you, Canadians, for still coming here. We're like, okay.
Yeah, there's been some bad stuff going on.
Yeah, so she was really good. I got to take my picture on the gazebo from Gilmore Girls. So that was pretty cool. And then you got to see stuff from...
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, so that's from Gilmore Girls.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got to see different sets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering what all the excitement was about. I'm like, that looks like our gazebo in the Victoria Park.
No, it's for... Yeah, so then we got to see different sets, and we did Universal Studios later that day, and we did the set drop there. But that one was more theatrical. They had a Jaws scene where you had to you can, if you look on my videos, you only really see my arm and me screaming because I tried to get it, but my arm covered. I was curled into Richard. It was coming at me. But yeah, so it was a lot. There was a lot to do. But if anyone has any questions about something specific, if you're going to LA or if you're going on a Disney cruise, or if you have any questions about Disney World, if you're thinking about Disney World, I know everything about Disney World. Disneyland.
I can proclaim she is the expert.
I do, yeah. And so I think, yeah, that kind of wraps it up. It was wonderful trip.
I was curious about the cruise, what it would be like and how you would feel, because I know you usually go to Disney World. Yes.
Yeah. No, I really and I do think if you're an adult wanting to do a Disney cruise, I know that when I've said, oh, we're doing a Disney cruise, people who have cruised, are avid cruisers, a lot of people are you're starting with the top of the line. You just get, I think it's the service, right? Because I have no interest in going on a cruise where you're just
I picture
drinking.
the other cruises to be when they fly you into Cancun and then take you to a resort and you're on that resort for 7 days.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what the cruise is like. Because the same thing at the resorts. You can do excursions every day and all that kind of crap.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's kind of the deal that, and buffet food and things like that.
Exactly.
I feel other than the fact you're on the water.
Yeah.
Same kind of deal, right?
Right. And it was nice to... at night, because then so what they would do is...
those sunset pictures were beautiful.
I know. And the thing was, how they do it is there's 2 different suppers. There's an early supper and a late supper. The early supper is 6 something, and the late supper is 8 something. And they do shows based on those. So if you're they do a show around 6 o'clock, and then they do a show around 8 o'clock. So you can rotate, you can
get to your food.
Yeah. So we did the late eating. We did eating at 8:15 or something. So we always saw the show around I think it was 6 or 6:15, and it was they'd have Broadway show, not Broadway, but it would be Broadway style
productions.
Yeah. Or they had one was he was an adult. It was a juggler comedian or something like that. So yeah,
cool.
So that's it. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think that's all. I'm glad you're back.
Yes.
I'm glad we can get back into the swing of things.
I know, routine is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed you, but I will tell you I didn't miss you as much this time because I had things to do, which was great.
And I think and I was glad that we had discovered, or I had mentioned about the WhatsApp.
Yes.
Because we could still
talk.
I know. The worst thing was, though, the time change, because it was normally around supper time that I'd be like, okay, I got to text everyone. But supper time was 8 o'clock our time, so then it was like midnight.
I was awake.
But so that was the only shitty thing, but yeah. All right.
Another episode done, guys.
See ya.
We love ya.
Mwah.
There we go.
Laughter and good vibes too. The Fat Girl Chronicles, we're breaking through. No more hiding, no more feeling small. We're taking up space, standing proud and tall. Our voice is strong, our stories to be heard. Challenging the stereotypes, flipping the world. The Chronicles of Sunshine.